So our Week 12 matchup against the Green Bay Packers is over. The Green Bay Packers went ahead and defeated the LA Rams with a final score of 36-28, sending the Rams into a three-game losing streak, which brings the record now to 7-4, while it elevates Green Bay's the Packers record to 9-3, which I believe makes the Rams 2.5 games down from the first seed in the NFC West. I'll have to take a look at that again, but I believe that is what it is. And well, you know, it's despite the loss, there were what can I say? What can I say? I thought there were good things in the game. I thought there were improvements in certain areas of the game. I liked the grit. I actually really liked the fight that the Rams showed in tonight's game. I liked how I appreciate how they were, for the most part, trying to be more physical than they had been the past 2 weeks. I'll just go ahead and name an example. Cooper Cup is an absolute gem, and you could see, like, when he catches the ball, if you notice in the game, he didn't like go to the ground. He caught the ball. He'd get swarmed by like two or three Packers, and they just stand him up, but they couldn't bring him to the ground, and then they had to blow the whistle. Okay, that seems small, but like little things like that, I crazy. But little things like that, like I appreciate. That shows the grit, that shows the fight, and I saw a lot of that from the Rams today. So I appreciated that. And as far as the offense is concerned, I thought the offense performed better than they had the last 2 weeks. Still having some problems, but overall, I thought it was better. There was a few deep shots. Van Jefferson had a pretty sweet, I think 79-yard touchdown grab in the first half. I thought that was I was screaming when that happened. I was like I was like yes, 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 because at that point it was looking rough at that point in the game, and then I think Odell had a big one too. So we had those. Um, I thought the play calling was better. Um, Not perfect. Um, Obviously, and it never is, but there's still room for improvement in the play calling. But overall, I thought it was a better job done than in the past previous weeks by Sean. Defense, I defense still struggling a little bit. I thought in moments of the game they played extremely well, especially in the first half. They really kept us in it in the first half of the game. But ultimately, they looked good in some areas, but ultimately they gave up 36 points, almost 40. And some of that is not their fault, but still gave up the points. And I understand the Packers are one of the best teams in the league. I understand they're one of the best offenses in the league. LaFleur, we're missing LaFleur, man, because at OC, ever since LaFleur left, we've been kind of struggling a little bit, But ultimately, there were good things about it. I thought they did better against the run, not great. Kind of got away from them a little bit at the end of the game, but that's to be expected when towards the end when the score is looking like it's looking. But ultimately, what did the Rams in today was mistakes. Way, way, way too many mistakes. They're just it was way too many to count. Like there was so much happened, which tells me I don't think Green Bay's that much better than us. Like I know they're like the best team in the NFC, but I gotta tell you, if despite the loss, if you're not feeling encouraged or anything, I gotta tell you, you can feel encouraged about the team because there's still they still have some glaring issues that if they don't fix them will definitely cost them late in the year. But ultimately Green Bay wasn't. We were right with Green Bay, man. We pretty much killed ourselves in a lot of situations. It's we can't we can't be giving them these turnovers, man. Like the kickoff returner, Koshki, dude, in the second half when like the dude, we get the ball and the guy runs out and we had the defense had just stifled the Packers, and we were getting the ball back in the beginning of the third quarter, get a drive going. He like fumbles, and then the Packers get it and they score a touchdown to go up by 2 scores again. And it was, and I'm just like you can't have that. And then the guy fumbles the next time they kick it to him. Did you all see that? Like, did you see like afterwards they kick it? They kept him on the field. They kick it to him again. He fumbles, but there's no one around him, and he picks it up, and he only gets like runs for a few yards. Special teams was a fail. Okay, I saw good things from offense. I saw good things from the defense. Neither were perfect, but overall, I'd say their performances was okay to average. Certainly not good enough, but special teams was an absolute failure. Absolute failure. Koshki fumbling those balls twice in a row. Twice in a row. Like, first of all, bench him. I'm sorry, man. I don't like. I understand this is a big deal for these players, and they're trying, to change their livelihoods and feed their families. I know, man. But here's the thing, bro. You cannot be fumbling the ball away and effectively handing the Packers the game like that. Koshki needs to be benched, okay? And that I'm gonna have to look at the replay again, but there was a play on special teams where the defense had stopped them. They effectively stopped them, but was it Buddy Howe? They said was lined up in the neutral zone. Like apparently he didn't jump off sides. Apparently he was lined up in the neutral zone. And I got to admit, I'm not gonna hound Buddy Howe as of right now because the one replay I saw, I didn't see it. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I didn't see exactly where he was like crossing the line. But my vision was a little blurred at that point, and they showed the replay fast. I didn't see it. I'll have to look it up, but I didn't see it. Even so, that is such a fail. I don't know what you're doing, Mr. D. Camillus, but the special teams on this team is awful. Okay, it's just awful. It's unsatisfactory. It has to be better. I don't know what the issue is, but you got like Johnny Hecker whiffing punts, looking very what word do I want to use? Pedestrian, looking very pedestrian, and it something that added a little extra sting to this fire is the fact that he was in a punting competition in training camp. If y'all will remember, kind of turned the clock back a few months here, back in June and July with a young man named Barquez. Ultimately, Barquez played pretty well in the preseason, and a lot of people, myself actually included, thought Hecker was going to be cut to save cap space, and we were going to go with Barquez because if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry, dude, but because he looked good. But we released him, kept Johnny Hecker, and the Packers signed him, and well, he performed pretty well tonight. He there was a lot of times where he really pinned us back deep and looked very effective. So he was looking good. Barquist was looking good, and Johnny Hecker whiffed a few of them. So I understand it's cold. Johnny's not used to it, but damn, special teams needs work. Needs a whole lot of work, man. And bench Koshki and bench Troy Reader. Okay, I'm sorry. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I'm sorry, dude. It's just I the the dude looks cannot cover. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the guy cannot cover. Dude, so too many times I saw Aaron Rodgers just lob it up to a receiver that you could tell in mid play as the ball was in the air. As the ball was in the air, you could see the wide receiver, the trajectory, and Troy Reader was like way off the mark, and you just knew, oh man, once he catches this, he's probably gonna get probably about 20, 25 yards because Troy Reader's just way out of his area. And sure enough, that's happened a few times. Troy Reader, when you can't be missing open field tackles like you did tonight, Troy Reader, okay? It was it was incredibly unsatisfactory. That's bench play right there. Like honestly, right now I'm just saying bench him, and I'd say give Christian Roseboom a chance because we just signed him, and he looks to be a little more athletic than Troy. Maybe he can cover a little more ground in the passing game, and I think he certainly might do a little better in the run game because I don't know if y'all saw, but the very last play of the game during the onside kick, um, Roseboom completely annihilated one of the Packers. I don't know who it was, but he just speared him like Edge style from WWF. And, and holy crap, he speared him, and the guy was on the ground. I was actually concerned for his well being. I really was because he looked in a lot of pain. And it was funny as I'm looking at the replay, I can see the long hair, and I'm like, is that Roseboom? Is that Roseboom? And I'm like, well, Sean, why don't you give this guy a look? Because Troy Reader ain't cutting it. Troy Reader was a liability tonight. Complete liability. It's again, dude, the linebackers. We have not focused on getting good linebackers in the past, and it is we are seeing the effects of that tonight. Let me tell you, I thought Ernest played well, um, considering or well not perfect, but he's a rookie, so it's gonna be like that. But ultimately the Packers were just the better. They were just the better team tonight. We could not get over the turnovers. We could not get over the mistakes. I do appreciate. I thought the team was more physical than they had been in previous weeks. I have to give them credit there. Von Miller, finally made a play. I thought he looked okay, but like I said, he just got here too, so it's going to take time for him to get used to this defense. But yeah, there were good things tonight that should make you encouraged as Rams fans. Yeah, I'm serious. There were good things tonight. Um, Ultimately, we just couldn't overcome the mistakes, and we made way too many of them, man. And it shows when you take an entire week off during the bye, and you come out and play with this many mistakes. It makes sense, Sean. But I'm not going to beat you up for that because I actually thought taking the week off was the right move considering the national TV embarrassments the past couple weeks. So it just it kind of is what it is. It's just a result of taking a week off. The guys are rusty. So Hopefully that'll get ironed out before next week. But Matthew, I thought Matthew struggled here a bit. He played. I wonder how injured he actually is because I seen reports and people hinted at the fact that he may be a little injured and it's affecting his play. And it kind of looks that way. I don't know if it has anything to do with his foot, his thumb. I don't know what it is. I doubt he's fully healthy and it's really affecting his play. But dude is tough and dude is grinding it out. So he played. He had Matthew had good moments and he had bad moments. He had a pick six. He some of his throws just look so bad, which would I mean they're so bad to the point where it can almost confirms that there is some sort of issue that he's dealing with. There has to be, but yeah, I doubt we'll get the full scoop on that, and I don't blame him for not saying anything, but I just hope he gets better soon. And it's disappointing, losing three in a row, but I thought overall the teams looked better than they had. I am encouraged with a lot of what I saw tonight. Still a lot of room for improvement, and I know we lost three in a row. We're 7-4, but we're still in a good spot. We still can control things. We got to get moving though. Definitely got to get moving, but we do still control our own fate. But but we'll watch the replay, kind of see what Sean and the boys have to say, and yeah, and that's gonna be it, man. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I did. I spent some time with the family. It was fun. Ate some turkey, all that good stuff. It was a real fun time. So happy belated Thanksgiving to y'all, and we'll get better. You just gotta. While I thought it was better, performance overall was better. It just still was not good enough, and it was definitely not good enough to overcome the many mistakes we had tonight. So that's gonna be it for me for right now. I will catch you guys on the next one, and as always, go Rams.